All right, guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I wasn't initially going to do a video, but I was in the gym and I was talking to a guy about football, and he's like, let's not overreact on Monday because we were just talking crazy. And I was like, that's it. So, came home from the gym, took a shower. Here we are. Overreaction Monday, hot take Monday, whatever you want to call it. But before we get into the video, don't forget jersey giveaway at 250 subscribers. And we go live every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern or 12:45 p.m. Eastern before the games to talk football. And let's get into it. Let's overreact to the games this week, starting off with the game on Thursday night, the Vikings and the Chargers. Chargers win 37-10. Carson Wentz looked awful. And I think, right, remember, these are, a little overreactions here. The Vikings are in. They're in for it because some people are out on J.J. McCarthy. I was never really high on J.J. McCarthy coming out of college, but Carson Wentz looked bad. J.J. McCarthy didn't look great when he was healthy and when he was playing. The Chargers just dominated them, and if you guys were in the live, I said you can never count out a Brian Flores-led defense. Well, you can count them out because that Brian Flores-led defense just looked awful. Moving over to my Miami Dolphins beating the Atlanta Falcons 34-10. Now, I don't know where this came from. I really don't. The Dolphins just look good. We saw Tua with one eye, by the way, just torch the best pass defense in the NFL. No really overreaction there because I can't overreact because we're 2-6, right? I can overreact about every other team, but I'm going to keep it real with you guys here. We have two really hard games coming up. We have the Ravens on Thursday night, followed by the Buffalo Bills. But I will say Tua looked like how Tua looked in the past. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Moving on to the Bears and the Ravens. 2 injured teams, but the Ravens with the backup quarterback got the win there. And the Bears just looked bad. They really, really did. And the Ravens, they look like they're getting their stuff together. Hopefully it doesn't work out this week, or hopefully it does. If you're a Dolphins fan and you just want a top 3 pick, then you want us to lose. Bills-Panthers. James Cook had himself a day. He's moved himself back into that top running back conversation because the past few weeks he has not looked good. But if we look at the stats, 19 carries, 216 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Insane by James Cook. Bills look like they're a Super Bowl team. They really do, and that's unfortunate for me to say. Browns, Patriots, Myles Garrett, 5 sacks on the day. Insane. But the Cleveland Browns are just bad. They are just really, really bad. And I don't feel bad for Myles Garrett. I see people saying, I feel bad for him. Like, he's kind of, if you've ever seen the picture of that Bugatti next to that house, right, this is Myles Garrett on the Browns organization. But he chose the money. He chose the bag over winning. So I don't feel bad for him. But what I will talk about is Drake May. Drake May looks like that guy, right? He is the Patriots' next franchise guy. Unfortunately, they couldn't suffer for any longer. After their 6 Super Bowls and Tom Brady, they just had to wait, 4 years. And hey, here's your next franchise guy. Buccaneers, Saints, not really going to talk much about that other than Baker Mayfield needs another receiver. They need to trade for someone at the deadline because he's not looking like Baker that we've seen, even though he got the win. He went 15 for 24, 152 yards. That is it. And I was sitting there watching it, and they tried to run the ball up the middle 4 times on the 1-yard line and couldn't get it done. So, need to go get another receiver. Ibuka's insane, but go get someone else. Go trade for someone else so you can open him up a little bit. Pause on that. Cowboys at the Broncos. Broncos just demolished the Cowboys. I will say Joe Milton came in for the Cowboys. He's from about an hour away from where I live, so he's kind of a local guy. And he threw a dot to the back of the end zone, so we saw Joe Milton come in. We saw him give this offense a little life. People feel how they feel about Dak. He's getting up there in age. But the Broncos just look good. Their defense looked great. Their offense looked great. Bo Nix looks great. Good for the Broncos. Moving on to the Jets and the Bengals. Good for the Jets for getting their first win. And it was never the quarterback. And we knew that. And Justin Fields came out and he said he was emotional, crying in his closet. The Bengals are just a dysfunctional team right now, and the Bengals have some problems. They have defensive problems, they have offensive line problems, and they chose to pay their wide receivers over building an offensive line for Joe Burrow when he comes back. So the Bengals have problems. Zach Taylor might be out as the head coach. I don't know how you keep him after losing to the Jets at home. The winless Jets, Bengals have their problems, but I have a lot of takes that I could talk about for the Bengals, but I'm not a Bengals YouTuber. Miami Dolphins. 49ers and the Texans. Now, Mac Jones, you just looked like Mac Jones in New England. It really just looked like Mac Jones in New England in that first half. Just terrible. They lose 15-26 against the Texans, and we saw the Texans get demolished by the Seattle Seahawks on Monday night the week before. And the 49ers, their offense looked awful. Christian McCaffrey looked just bad. Defense looked bad. All around, the 49ers looked bad. I don't know if a change at quarterback when Brock Purdy comes back fixes them, or if they're just, in for a rude awakening going forward. Giants, Eagles, Cam Scatterbo has to get surgery done yesterday. Eagles win that 38-20, and the Eagles look right back where they were. Let's look at the stats here. Jalen Hurts, 179 yards, 4 touchdowns. Saquon, 150 yards, 1 touchdown. They look great, and that's with no A.J. Brown. Titans and the Colts. Now the Colts. Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor. Look at this. Daniel Jones, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns. If the MVP wasn't just a quarterback award, you can't argue that those are your number 1 and 2 for your MVPs. Now, I think Daniel Jones, I don't think that the NFL is going to give him the MVP. I think they'll give him the comeback player of the year, though. But Jonathan Taylor is the best player, not even just the best running back, but he's the best player in football right now. He is unstoppable. He had 2 touchdowns on the ground and 1 receiving touchdown, which was like a little touch pass, which is unfortunate because he would have broke that record. But Jonathan Taylor is the MVP. Some people are saying, he's entering the MVP conversation. He is the MVP. He's the most valuable player in football right now. Packers, Steelers. Now, this was an interesting game because in the first half it was close, and then the Steelers just came out flat with the worst jerseys ever. And I think Jordan Love completed 20 passes in a row, something like that. He looked insane. But Josh Jacobs, when he was playing, for whatever reason, I saw maybe he was on a snap count or something happened. They couldn't get the running game going. But that didn't matter because Jordan Love looked great. The Steelers just looked bad in that second half. They really, really, really did. They let their emotions get the best of them. Aaron Rodgers just looked bad. Their offensive line crumbled. Their receivers, it just looked really, really, really bad for the Steelers. But that's it for Overreaction Monday, Hot Take Monday, whatever you want to call it. But I appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. And it's going to be a different week this week because Dolphins play on Thursday. So I'm going to speed everything up. So enjoy the rest of your Monday. I hope you guys had a great day at work or school or whatever you do. And I'll see you guys in the next one, which will be tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.